Hello everyone, welcome to this Unity 2017 tutorial series. This is going to be featuring the 2D masking feature. We're going to be using this on a card game. It's going to feature masking, it's going to feature 2D assets, and it's going to be featuring how to use sorting layers. We're going to dive right on in here. Now, if you are in my class, you should be trying to generate your own artwork here. But if you're just on my YouTube page and you are following along with the tutorial here, there will be a link in my description that will take you to my Dropbox that will have these assets, so you guys can go ahead and follow along. Alright, so let's go ahead and just jump right in. I have a new clean project here. I'm going to go ahead and import my assets. So I'm going to go to Assets. I'm going to go to Import New Assets, and I'm going to go ahead and select some of these guys here. So let's go ahead and we'll bring in, let's see here. We need the card background, the card itself, and some of these guys in here. Okay, sure, we'll bring in all of these. We may not use all of these for this tutorial, but it's better to just have extra and not need them than need them and not have them. Okay, there we go. Alright, so first thing I want to bring in is my Unity card here. I'm going to go ahead and just bring this asset and drop it right here in the Create drop down. This will bring it right into the middle of the scene. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I'm going to also bring in my background. This is going to be this one right here. Let's go ahead and drop this right here. Now it's huge. Now if you're familiar with Maya, if you're a game artist and you're looking over here on the right, you're a little unfamiliar with Unity, the inspector is the same thing as the attribute editor. So to bring this scale of this background down, we'll just go to where it says transforms and scale, and we'll bring this down to, let's say, 0.5 by 0.5. Okay, that might be, let's do 0.4 by 0.4. That's a little better. Okay, cool. Now we're going to look at the actual masking feature itself. So we're going to go to our Unity card here. You see how it's in the background. We want to be able to see through this. So we're going to go to Game Objects. We're going to go to 2D Gaming Objects, and we're going to go to Sprite Mask. Okay. So now we have this new sprite. It's inside the Unity card. So it's a child of this card for Unity. We can go ahead and throw this background in there as well. Let's go ahead and just put that in there. So I'm just left mouse button dragging it up into where it says card for Unity. That makes it to where now this is a child of the card for Unity. Now, if you're unfamiliar with parent-child relationships, I'll give you a quick little overview before we go into how to deal with our mask here. Basically, is what the deal is with parent-child is that as a child, since we have here the background, and I can grab this and move it, and it goes back and forth, right? As a parent, I can grab this Unity card and it'll take the child with the parent. Okay. All right. So that's essentially in a nutshell. All right. So let's deal with this mask here. Select this mask here, and you'll see over here where it says Sprite Mask. It says Sprite, but it doesn't have any sprite assigned to it yet. So we're going to go ahead and go assign this card here as the sprite. So we're just going to left mouse button drag it into the section, and I'll add it in there. Okay, so now you'll see there's this orange bounding box around the outside of our sprite. That's good, but it's still a little bit too big. I want there to be, because when I want the mask to take effect, I want the border to remain. So I don't want there to be the mask on the outside of the card. I want it on the inside where the white is. So to change the size of this, I can manually change it by changing the scale. I can scale it down, or I can press this button here. This will essentially give me the vertexes of them, and I can grab these and move these in manually, which works out okay. I think the scale tool works a little bit better in my opinion. It's this one right here. Now, if you're familiar with Maya, Unity uses the same hotkeys as Maya. So the R, W, E, and R. So R for scale, E for rotate, W for translate or move. So you can just press R. That will give you my scale tool again. Just, oops. Oh, I moved my mouse down here. That's a bad move. My bad. Got too low. Okay, just going to bring this back up. Okay, so that's good enough for now, for demo purposes anyways. Okay, so moving forward. Now, I want the background to be visible inside my card. So to deal with that, zoom in a little bit, just using my scroll wheel to zoom in. Okay. To make it towards visible, I need to first go over to my card here. Oh, not the card over here. I need to go to the card inside the create area. So where this is at, I need to go to where it says mask interaction. Right now it says, and actually before I even go there, I need to deal with the card. Let's go to the card first. So we're going to go to the card for Unity. We're going to say mask interaction. Let's go ahead and put that at visible on outside of the mask. So the mask is the orange. I don't want the inside visible. I want the outside visible. So visible on outside of the mask. Okay, there we go. That's perfect. Okay. Now I got this other object here. This is the background. And maybe I might want to change this from max res default. Let's go ahead and change the name of this one. So let's go to rename. Right mouse button clicked on it. Go to rename. Let's call this one background dark. Okay. Easy enough. Okay, so now we need to go over to mask interaction. Okay. And let's go ahead and say visible inside mask. Okay, so that cuts off everything on the outside. So now all I have is what I'm seeing right here. Okay. Good. Alright, so now let's go ahead and add a character to this. We need to add another object to our background here. So I'm going to bring in, let's bring in this Alucard character. Now I acquired this online. I didn't create Alucard. Okay. He's a little too big, so let's scale him down to where he fits inside here. Okay. Now, he's a little bit too big on the sides here, right? Okay, so now I need to apply the mask we created to our card here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to mask interaction, visible inside mask. Okay, there we go. So that cuts that off. Okay, good. Alright, so now we have all the essential elements of our card, but we don't, I want to add in a little bit of an effect as well. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's also bring in, let's go to, just add component. Let's just go to effects and create a new one. Go to create a new particle system. There we go. Okay. Now, let's give a quick rundown about this particle system. Let's take a look at it. Now it's running on the fly here, shooting particles straight up. Has 90-degree rotation negative, so shooting straight up. Let's go ahead and bring that down to 0, or 1, I guess. That makes it to where it now shoots in all directions, right? Okay. Let's make the scale a little bit smaller. I think that those are a little bit big, so let's bring them down to 0.5. Okay, not bad. Okay, let's go ahead and also adjust the color because I don't think that white's quite working for me. But before we go ahead and do that, let's actually bring this inside our card system. So let's go ahead and add this. And we might even want to add this. Well, okay, yeah. Before we go ahead and add this in here, because I might want to keep this. Yeah, I want to adjust this particle system first because if I want to reuse this particular setup on other cards, I don't want to be attached to this prefab I'm going to create here. So let's change the color. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud a little bit. Color over lifetime. Check it first. Okay, go ahead and click over here. Click little color daughter. Let's go with that one. And on this side, let's do I'll go back to blend. Okay. Let's see if I can just actually change that from this side. I'll turn that one to, let's go something darker. Oops. Bring that one back. It keeps wanting to hop away from me. I want to do that one with, there we go. Actually, I want them switched. I want it to be on this side. Oops. Sorry guys. Right, back to the color dropper. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. Now, go ahead and take this particle system. I'm just going to go ahead and drop it down here. So that's now an asset that I can go ahead and access for other objects. But for this one here, let's go ahead and address this one. Now, I need it to where it's visible. As right now, I can't actually see it, right? It's behind everything. That's not going to work. Let's throw it inside here. Okay. Let's look at doing some sorting orders and see if we can get it to where we get what we want through that. All right, so let's see here. See, that's a sorting order right there. As a default, let's see here. Where's my sorting order on this guy? That's underneath rendering. That's right. Let's go to rendering. There's sorting order. Okay. Right now it's set default. Now I did add some new layers to my sorting layer. So yours probably just has default. If you want to have more, you just have to create some more sorting layers. You can always add more sorting layers. But this one here, let's go ahead and figure this right out. Right now so if you look at a la carte, this one's set to default, this one's set to default, this one's set to default. Yeah, they're all set to default. So let's go ahead and let's go to sorting layer. Let's go ahead and put this one. Okay, so level 1's above everything, right? So let's go down one more level. Level 2 is below that. Okay, let's go to level 3. Okay, so let's put it at level 2. And let's take Alucard and let's put him on 3. Okay, so that makes it to where he's now above the particle system. Okay. And the particle system, what did I put that on? Did I put that on 2? Might want to put that on 1 so it's not breaking the box. Yeah, let's go ahead and put it on 1. And let's put the card itself, we'll put that one on 2. So the sorting layer, we'll put this one on 2. That way now it's not breaking the frame here. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and also cut off, see how these particles are all flying off in the distance? Okay, so we want these to stay inside the card. So we're going to go to the particle system. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back down to rendering. Okay, and where it says masking, let's go ahead and say visible inside mask. Okay, so now you just have this little puffing thing going on the inside here. Okay, so that's perfect, right? Okay, so you guys see how this works. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's just nice to have a tutorial like this that walks you through the simplicities of some of this stuff. Hopefully this is a good launching off point for you guys. I'm sure you guys can see now how easy it would be to also add in the status bars on the top here on what this card's stats might be. Maybe you have a description down here with some hit points or something like that. Kind of up to you on how you want your card game to be played. Very simple 2D stuff you can bring in inside of from Photoshop. I do want to put out as a word of advice if you are unfamiliar with how to bring in assets in 2D. Bring them in as a PNG because those will bring in transparent layers. So for instance, here's one of my characters from the Alucard from that's one of the 2D assets I'm using. You see how it's got this little checkered background here? That means that if I bring it into Photoshop or into Unity, everywhere it's checkered will be transparent, so I can have these be layered with a different background behind it. Okay, so pretty straightforward there. If you want to, let's do, I'll just inside Photoshop here, I'll go to New, and just go ahead and create a text box. No, that was not a good size. New. I don't know why that happened. Let's go ahead and we'll just go back to Alucard here. We'll just turn his layer off. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just going to show you guys how to, in case you're unfamiliar with how to create stuff for your card. Just give you a little crash course here. It's got a little bit of time. Okay. So for this text here, I want to say Vampire Master, or let's say Master Vampire. Okay. And we'll also create a little box for him. Okay. I'll just double click on this box, add a little bit of bevel to it. I'm trying to do this really quick, guys, so I'm not going for visual aesthetics here. Let's do bevel. And then I'll go ahead and take this, move this guy on top here. So it has to be on top. That's how the layering systems work. Okay, so maybe have this be a little bit longer. Control T to rescale that. Okay, and let's go ahead and add as well. We're going to add in some hit points. I'll say he's a, let's say he's a 6 6 creature. Okay, go ahead and move that one up as well. Alright, so now I can go ahead and say I'm going to go ahead and save as, and I'm just going to see here, desktop. We're just going to put it right here. Let's go ahead and call this one title, and it's going to be a PNG. Okay, go ahead and see. Oh, I think that I started to save it in the wrong spot. So save as, go to PNG. Okay, there we go. I'll call this one title, and we're going to go ahead and save this one. Okay. Alright, so now we have this one in here. Let's go ahead and import it in. So I'll just show you guys how that would work. So go to assets, import new asset. And we're going to bring in our new title. So I'm going to import. Okay, just going to drag that into my scene, and I'll just go ahead and drag that right where it says card. Okay, so I can now scale this one. So I can hit R, scale this one down a little bit, make to where it fits inside here. Okay. Again, we're going to have to address this whole sorting layer thing. So let's go ahead and we're going to say that this is on the same level as this guy here. So put on level 2. Remember, our objects can share a layer. It's just basically telling you which order it'll be displayed in. Okay. There we go. Now I want to make sure that it has the mask on it. So let's go ahead and do mask interaction visible inside mask. Okay, so now if I bring it outside the mask, it's not going to cover any of that. Okay. Alright. Okay, so you guys can see how this works now. I'm going to go ahead and finish this one by actually creating a new folder in here. So let's go ahead underneath assets here. Let's actually create one here called create folder, and we're going to call this one cards. So as you're finishing your cards here, like after you create them over here, you're not going to leave them over here. This is just a place to put your assets together. You'll want to bring them over into this folder here. It says cards. So these are actually a prefab that you can actually call inside your game and have your game just automatically create them. You're not going to have them just hanging out inside your game just waiting here. So let's go ahead and just drag this guy and we'll put it over here inside the cards folder. Okay. So now if you look inside here, underneath assets, here's all of our pictures we brought in. But underneath our cards folder, here's our finished cards here. I probably want to rename this one as, instead of Unity 4 card, let's call this one card vampire. Okay, and that kind of finishes up. Call that one card vampire. Okay, so that pretty much finishes up this tutorial. In this tutorial, we went ahead and covered how to use masks, we went how to create particle effects, how to use our sorting layer. If you have any further questions, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. If not, then thank you for watching. See you guys in the next lesson.